in the 1940s, which you so love. I don't know why you don't live there. You look like you live there. You're dressed like you live there. Here's the problem. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second.
Did I attack her?
I didn't attack her.
You just said she had a high body count, you lying sack of shit. Show me the proof.
In our last video, we broke down how Coach Greg Adams beat Andrew Wilson on the core question
we're going to talk about today: is marriage worth it for men in the West?
Is marriage worth it for men in the West? CGA won by staying on topic. Andrew Wilson lost by refusing to. The question was not, what are your solutions for making marriage worth it for men in the West? If that was the question, Andrew Wilson made the best case. But it wasn't, and that was not CGA's standpoint. Yet, in the public eye, many people think Andrew Wilson won. In this breakdown, we're gonna highlight exactly how Andrew Wilson secured that public perception and how Coach Greg Adams played right into his hands. First, let's set our point. This channel's message is for men to protect themselves at all times. A phrase from boxing.
Protect yourselves at all times.
And in boxing, they say, styles make fights. A fighter's style can decide the match. You don't beat a technical master by outboxing him. You drag him into a street fight. Marcos Maidana was never gonna outbox Floyd Mayweather, so his team's strategy was clear. Make it ugly, a dirty fight to create an advantage.
Maidana is making this a rough and tumble fight. The central character in this fight.
It looked like Maidana was going to deliver a Muay Thai knee there for a second. But in rhythm. Good counter-punching, and he almost sends Mayweather through the ropes here above us.
Look at Mike Tyson. He couldn't believe he saw a knee in a boxing match. The point is, dirty fighting is a deliberate strategy, and it's not limited to the ring. It happens in debates too. Andrew Wilson knew he could never out-fact CGA on the main question, so his only path to victory was to make it an ugly, chaotic brawl. And here's how he did it.
I'll answer the question, but I want to make a deal with you that if I answer this last question of yours, that you'll actually answer when I ask you after that.
Listen, we're not in a court of law. I don't have to answer anything. I can state something.
Yeah, I know, but I'm asking if we can make a deal. That if I answer this question, you'll answer my next
question that you ask me. I'll consider.
So we're not going to make a deal on that?
I don't have to make a deal. Listen,
you don't have to. I'm asking if you will.
Possibly. So go ahead.
Possibly? Okay, well then I possibly will hold the debate hostage until you possibly make a deal with me.
All right, great. So
there it is, the confession. The debate was logically over in the first 15 minutes, but Wilson's game plan was to keep it hostage, and he was successful. It dragged on for 2 hours. Here's his primary tactic.
The thing here is you keep on saying that what I'm offering is make-believe, but it's not. It's been governing the Orthodox and Catholic Church for 2,000 years, including in this country. Now, here, let me give you an example, for instance, the Amish, right? Do you know what the divorce rate is among them? It's almost non-existent, yet they're still governed by the same laws of the land that you're speaking to.
Wilson sets up his argument with the power of the Catholic and Orthodox Church over 2,000 years and the low divorce rates of the Amish. Now, watch how he reacts when CGA challenges this cherry-picked history.
Was the best marriage that you're trying to go to. Now listen,
in the 1950s? Were we crusading in the 1950s?
No.
What the hell are you talking about?
You talked about the institution of marriage for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Sir, do you need me to catch you up on what you're talking about? You're having trouble keeping up with me.
Do you know what
you're having trouble keeping up with me. You said 2,000 years ago.
Truly,
and I told you 2,000 years ago, they were chopping people's heads off.
Which has what to do with anything?
I need you to catch up with me, sir.
Okay.
If you want to take things back to the past, you have to accept everything as the past. You can't just cherry pick.
What?
Now, here's the thing. You're cherry picking. If you want to take things back to tradition, take it all the way back. Why stop at the 50s? Take it back to the 1890s.
What you're saying right now is so incoherent, I actually don't even understand it.
Well, that's what, listen, when you're running out of bullets,
you see that? He uses 2,000 years of history to empower his argument. But the moment CGA demands he account for the whole history, the Inquisition, the Crusades, the oppression, CGA suddenly becomes incoherent. This is what fanboys eat up. Just dismiss your opponent as confused. But if you know anything about how major religions like Christianity and Islam actually spread, you know it wasn't by asking nicely.
Now, when you say it's a great institution, what made it great for secularists, other than the fact that Sky Daddy and God had all these enforcement arms, and those things had to be enforced socially? Like, for instance, men weren't allowed to run away. And women, right, they had to show cause for these divorces. And they had to be good causes. They had to show it for things like infidelity, right? It was all biblically governed. It was all lawfully governed by this sky daddy guy you like so little. But that's what made the institution great in the first place.
This is where Wilson sets up his fantasy, that the institution was great because of community enforcement, social pressure in the name of God, or sky daddy. But look what happens when you test that theory against reality.
1940s and 1950s with this imaginary sky daddy controlling marriages. That sounds like enforcement. Because by the time the 1970s came around, the very first chance women got to file a no-fault divorce without need for evidence, without need to have a private investigator to prove an affair.
Was no fault the 70s?
Yes, it was the 70s, started by Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
I'll educate you.
But hang on.
Came along. Hold on for a second. No. I got the floor here. I got the floor. So you said the religious institutions governed it and made it great. The 1970s came along, and as soon as they did, women started to file divorces at record rates, which is back to my conversation. Soon as you remove the authority of Sky Daddy, now you're back with the state. And now you have difficulty, and now the risk is now greater.
Boom! The historical proof. When the state removed the legal enforcement with no-fault divorce, women filed for divorce in droves. Where was Sky Daddy? Where was the community pressure? It collapsed. The moment the real power, the law, changed. The Sky Daddy model failed its one big test. It couldn't withstand the state. So what's Wilson's response?
So that's the issue that you have.
It sounds like men should be moving towards Sky Daddy then, because it mitigates their risk.
The courts, the nation should be moving towards that. But how do you enforce that?
What courts? You're not getting a marriage from the state. What courts are involved here?
Did you see the sidestep? He completely ignores the historical fact. He doesn't address why women instantly filed for divorce when the legal barriers fell, because that fact destroys his entire argument. It proves what kept marriages together wasn't faith, it was legal consequence. His solution? Move towards Sky Daddy to mitigate the risk. Mitigate? You can't mitigate a hurricane with an umbrella. The state is the hurricane. His Sky Daddy community is the umbrella. He's asking men to build a religion to fight a legal system. That's not a strategy, it's a prayer. And as we saw in the 1970s, when women were given a choice, they chose the state over the church. Every single time.
Argument. Come on, man. It's not a counter argument. What's the counter argument?
There's no God in marriage, and divorce
that's an assertion, not an argument.
There's no God in divorce court.
God's not an argument.
That there's no
okay,
God
well, there
in
is a
divorce
God
court.
in divorce court. Argument defeated.
Exactly.
Argument defeated.
Now, here's the other reason Wilson was successful in keeping this debate hostage. In boxing, the referee enforces the rules. In the Mayweather-Maidana fight, referee Tony Weeks did a bad job. He should have deducted points for dirty fighting, but he didn't, so it continued. The same thing happened here. The moderator did a terrible job keeping the debate on topic. The question was never about solutions, yet the debate was dominated by Wilson's fantasy. This created massive frustration for CGA, and it showed.
He said, okay, let me repeat it, because you're slow. All right, you definitely are slow, Neanderthal.
That's for sure.
Let me tell you something. In the 1940s, which you so love, I don't know why you don't live there. You look like you live there. You're dressed like you live there.
Here's
the problem. Hold on for a second.
40s,
Hold on for a second. Because people have exhausted the means to be able to do this. Trust me, there have been people way better than you that dress better than you and shave their beard better than you that can do this, and they haven't been able to accomplish it. I bet you your wife's body count's higher than yours.
Yeah, I bet your wife's body count was higher than yours, too.
No, I'm not married. I'm not married. And your wife, you living off of her, I bet you her body count higher than yours.
You think so?
I know so.
Oh, okay.
I know
just
so.
like you know your
and
numbers?
She's a traditional conservative.
Just like you know your numbers are higher?
I know she'd have got ran through more times in the Holland Tunnel.
So that's it? It's just now ad
we just
about
ad
my wife?
Is that what we want to do?
That's where you went.
No, you brought her up. I didn't bring up your wife.
Did I say a word about your wife?
I don't got one.
Yeah, if you did, do you think I would have?
You brought her up.
I brought my. Did I attack her?
I didn't attack her.
You just said she had a high body count. You lying sack of shit. Show me the proof.
Oh my goodness. And here is where Coach Greg Adams lost points in the public eye. The name calling and bringing up Wilson's wife's body count distracted from his valid points. It let Wilson play the victim and look like the calm, rational one. This is why our first video focused purely on the logic, not the tactics that derailed it. Coach Greg Adams smoked Andrew Wilson in the first 15 minutes, but because of bad moderation that failed to enforce the topic, and by being willing to engage on a fantasy battlefield for 2 hours, he allowed Wilson to get under his skin and claim a public relations victory. He won the battle of facts. But in the eyes of the fanboys and the ignorant, he lost the war of perception.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So here's
typical tactic, but you can work that against these
Okay, so I still
OnlyFans
can't
girls.
talk.
Hey,
Go
listen,
ahead.
you can work that tactic against those OnlyFans girls that you debate, debating 23-year-old ignorant women.
They're smarter than you.
But now
They're
you're
smarter
sitting
than you.
across from a person.
They're always smarter than you.
Yeah, you're sitting across from a person here.
Oh, no.
That's looking at a Neanderthal, say you don't understand something very
Well, let
simple.
me know when he gas out
This
so
is
I
the
can
simplest thing that you can understand.
Okay.
Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.